Don't you hate when someone breaks you out of jail, but then turns you into a lizard? NERDSoul. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, we coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, Talk Shop. It's about comics. We got hip hop, we got geek. We're gonna get it going with some Shades of Vengeance comics. I've been reading them this week. We've been breaking them down, talking about Lacuna, talking about Blue Shift. But now, that's right, we coming with my girl. She can fly, she's purple, she's doing her thing. Her name, Violet Unstoppable. And straight off the jump, the thing that I'm feeling about Viola, is that she's just someone who is trying to do the best she can. She's not trying to figure it out, I think, like Blue Shift is. I think she's figured out who she is, but even in who she is, she just wants to do the best she can. You know, she's not extremely self-righteous, or she's not some anti-hero. You know, she's just trying to make it, you know, trying to help here, help there, and hopefully make a difference, you know? And I like that about this book because it shows what I think a lot of us struggle with all the time. I don't think, for the most part, there is true evil out there. But for the most part, all of us fluctuate around the middle. You know, we're not, super true north heroic Captain America, but we're not, some bottom of the basement evil, Carnage from Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? We're in the middle just trying to do the best to get ahead, playing the cards that we're dealt, trying to do the best for ourselves and around us, I assume, I hope. And I think that's what Viola does here, and I like it a lot. It shows a woman that's going through her life, yes, she has superpowers, yes, she can fly, all that stuff, but at the same time, she's just trying to be someone who can ride the train to see her parents. And speaking about riding the train to see her parents, there's a very important scene in this book where she deals with the threat of sexual harassment that happens in public a lot, a lot. Someone who's been like in New York, DC, I've ridden the train, I've been in London, I've rode the underground there. A lot of, funny business happens with, women and trains and congestion and stuff. And to show her being scared or apprehensive about a moment like that with another man across from her when she has superpowers is very telling. And I think it's that kind of dimension in writing that's given to a character that is pretty dope, man. I really enjoyed this and I really appreciated it because it showed that this is just a real person trying to live. You know what I'm saying? And I like dealing with her just trying to figure it, just trying to make her way through, being a hero in this city. Also dealing with just the day-to-day of being a woman in a big city. And also dealing and engaging with her parents, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that her parents aren't worried about her, aren't scared for her, survival or worried about her safety or anything like that. So she has these real world issues that we can all relate to. And I think it makes a better book for this. But let's get into the action. Early on in this book, we get into a situation with her and this guy named Dan, who's, he's just a basic criminal, basic thug, thug number 3 in Batman or something like that. But he ends up going to jail. And, the way she handles him so easily, leaves him for the cops. You know the kind of person she is. Stand-up girl, doing her thing, holding it down, minding her business. You know what I'm saying? And cleaning up the streets. But then he gets broken out of jail. And when he gets broken out of jail, he's experimented on, ends up being turned into a lizard, like I said before at the top of the show. And we get a real fight, like a real fight. And I like how this book changes from someone who's just kind of going through the motions, just trying to do the best she can, one day at a time, to a very serious, visceral fight. And I appreciate the way they balance that without making it too violent or making it too monotone or making it too mundane, if you will. And this book really turns that corner when that fight happens. And when I say a real fight, I'm talking about knockdown, drag out, blood, scratching, punches. And I really dug it. It was dope. And it was good to see our hero take that lump early on to know that she's not this impervious being, but she has to do what she has to do because there's no one else around. So I really, really enjoyed that. I thought that was super dope. And we're gonna get into some other stuff in a little bit, but I wanted to just impress upon y'all how great Viola is because she's just really cool. I like her as a character. Now, we got a rematch and all that good stuff in a second to get to. But first, Cure Brand, of course, is gonna help us pay them bills. Oh yeah, check that link below. Hats, shirts, hoodies, all that jazz. And once you find something you like, of course, cop it. So let's get into the fallout for that fight. You know, she gets left to the cops. She gets into it with the cops because there's some cops that, of course, as every book goes, there's some cops that believe, you know, in vigilantism and all that stuff. And there's some cops that are super against it. And you see that get played out right in front of her, for her and against her. And when she has to deal with that, when she has to tuck her tail and run home, you don't see someone who runs away from the fight. You see someone who's like, okay, I got to regroup. I got to get back together because I got work to do. And I really appreciate in her because she could have gave up. She could have left it to someone else. She could have just said, you know what, I'm not cut out for this. But she picked herself up and she moved forward. And that resilience is the type of resilience I need in a hero because she figured it out on the fly. You know, every time when first you don't succeed, try again. You know what I'm saying? So the rematch was a very well stated, you know, kind of like position between her, between Dane, between his transition, and between her recognizing his transition and the weakness thereof. And that recognition of that weakness is something that shows that she's not only willing to do what needs to be done to, you know, succeed, but she's not above going old school either. And I love that. I really enjoyed that. This book comes through. And one thing that I've been enjoying about Shades of Vengeance, I'll remark upon, I did Lacuna, I talked about Blue Shift, I talked about now with Viola and Violet Unstoppable. One thing that I really enjoy about Shades of Vengeance as a whole is I feel like they're dealing with the people behind the mask before dealing with what the mask brings. And I think that's very important in any books. You know, I want to know who this person is. I want to know what they stand for, what they like, what they dislike, those kind of things. And I think that's why these books really stand out to me. So guys, let me ask you, have you been reading any Shades of Vengeance? Is this your first time hearing about them? Check them out at the links below. Then holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you. Down in them comments, let's talk Shades of Vengeance. Let's talk Violet Unstoppable. Let's talk Blue Shift. Let's talk Lacuna Revelation because I like these people. Penumbra, you know, I opened it up on her. I really love her attitude. Lacuna, he's got some growing up to do. Blue Shift has got to figure this out. And I think Viola is on the right path. I think she's doing good. So these are people, these are characters that I can relate to, that I can get into, and I'm interested to see where they go. So before I bounce, I'm gonna tell you guys to head up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right, check me out right there, all my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.ThatNERDSoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt, player. Don't forget to get one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that Nerd Soul. That's right, there's no better way that I can show people that you like what you are watching. So, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart, and please be good to yourselves. Please be good to each other, and remember, just because you got superpowers doesn't mean you're super protected. Peace.